Yogi is a unique individual. He's the American dream. He came from modest surroundings, and he made a tremendous career for himself. He's been a patriot. He's been a veteran, and he's been a tremendous asset to the whole country. And everything he's gotten, he deserves. He's a Hall of Famer on the field and off the field.
He's been an ambassador for the game. He knows the game inside and out. I would even put him in the genius category as a baseball person, because today, if you ask him what was the 2-2 pitch you called in 1958, he will tell you and be correct.
There's a wonderful story. My rookie year also, I had 2 Grand Slams in my career. I should have had 3. Yogi was our first base coach before all that happened. And we were playing in old Cincinnati ballpark where they had this cinder block wall up about 10 feet and a yellow line where that was supposed to be a home run, and above it was a wooden hitting eye, okay? I hit a fly ball with the bases loaded that hits that wood on a steep angle and comes straight down to the ground, and the umpire is ruling it a single. I get an RBI and a single. We lose the game by 2 runs, and Yogi gets the heave-ho for arguing the play, and he argued it hard. And after the game, all the writers came into this little clubhouse we had back then for the visiting team, and they ran up to Yogi's locker and they said, "Yogi, what'd you say to get thrown out?" And as only Yogi could say, he says, "All I told them was if they couldn't hear that ball hit the wood, they're blind." Yeah, and everybody in the clubhouse looked at one another and they went, "That's right," because you knew what he meant. I mean, those Yogiisms, you knew exactly what he meant.
He's an icon. Yogi is Yogi, and he's a great guy. I've known Yogi for a long time. He's a piece of work, and I can't wait to hear his speech. I'm sure it's going to be entertaining.
I first saw Yogi in 1964 when I was pitching for Cleveland, and he was managing the Yankees. And that's the first time I saw Yogi. And when I came over in '79 as a player, I used to love on the road trips, on the flights, just sit down and talk to him about yesteryear, about what it was like to be a Yankee when he played. Because I don't think that's taught in the organization of what it's like to be a Yankee, and you hear all of his stories and things that, it's heartwarming.
I remember the one thing he used to say to me was he was such a great catcher because he showed me his glove. And he said, "You see this little hole? We had to catch the ball in that little hole every time. You guys have these big gloves nowadays. It's so much easier to be a catcher." And he was right, But like I said, for him to be around, not knowing much about the Yankees when I first got there, for him to be around and be a part of it, and he wasn't there in the beginning because him and George still had that little spat. But when he first came back, you realized what an icon had stepped back into the locker room, and it was great to have him back.
He's one of the unique characters in all pro sports, and a great player. Got more World Series rings than anybody, so he's the man.
I think probably the one that Seaver told me when I asked him how he dealt with Yogi when he came to the mound, because I said, "Tommy, I can't understand him when he comes out there." And Tom said, "It's real easy. When Yogi comes out and he puts out his hand, you give him the ball and you go to the dugout. If he doesn't put out his hand, you say okay, and he'll go to the dugout."
I was a rookie player, and it was at Shea Stadium, and Yogi was working with the Astros because he still had the falling out with the Yankees. And I had a horrible game at Shea Stadium, and I could see out of the corner of my eye Yogi was walking towards me. And I felt like I had a good special bond with him in spring training. I spent a lot of time with him. He walked over to me, and I was kind of cringing. I thought he was going to give me words of encouragement, like tell me keep my head up and keep going. And he put his arm on my shoulder and said, "Kid, you stunk today." And to me, that stuck with me forever. And knowing Yogi and the way Yogi is, that's only fitting and perfect. And I ended up learning a valuable lesson from that. I ended up playing for a pretty long time in the majors.
You just gave me this harmonica that says the harmonica incident, August 20th, 1964. Phil Linz and Yogi Berra. Was it Mickey Mantle's fault?
Mickey Mantle did it. It was all his fault. Yogi should have nailed him.
All right, thanks, Phil. Okay. Have a great night.
Thanks, Dave.
I think I got a lot in spring training. I think it just, when you see Yogi, he's either reading a paper or falling asleep. So, you never know what he's going to be doing. Then all of a sudden he shows up and he taps you on the shoulder and he asks you for a couple autographs. So you never know what he's going to do. He doesn't move too quick, but he's kind of sneaky.